I don't care. I said it. I don't care. Because what she did, she had no business doing. And now everyone's making videos and crying, she was a lesbian. So I don't care if she was a lesbian. I don't care what LGBTQ purple unicorn. I don't care who she slept with. Oh my God, but she was a mother. So am I. What's your point? Because mothers don't put themselves in situations that could potentially take them away from their child. And that's what she did. Oh, but wait, that's not just what she did. That's her history. That's what she does. There's a whole history on Renee Nicole Goode. And what happened to her was tragic. But you guys want to show the part of the video where that happened to her, but you guys don't want to show the part of the video where she literally hit that officer with her vehicle. You don't get to use your vehicle as a weapon. So if I were walking around the city of Minnesota and I happened to jaywalk and you didn't like it, you could run me over? Like, is that what we're saying? Because you can't. ICE federal agents are doing their job because they have to get the illegal migrants that are in this country illegally committing crime and billions of dollars in fraud out. Period. It's not your business. It wasn't her business. No, they weren't coming for her. She apparently isn't a United States citizen. Why was she in someone else's business? She had no business doing what she did. And there are literally people still throwing themselves in front of ICE vehicles, thinking that the ICE vehicle is going to have to stop because if they don't, it would run them over. Can you understand that they don't care? They're doing their job. You do not get to come into this country and steal billions of dollars. So Renee Nicole Goode, they stole her taxpayer dollars too. They're not just stealing like Republicans' taxpayer dollars. They're stealing everyone's taxpayer dollars. But I don't remember seeing a lot of videos crying about, oh my God, she was a mother when Lincoln Riley's mother lost her daughter to an.
See, that's what I tell people all the time. Y'all got this selective thing going on. Y'all like to pick and choose what y'all want to protest about. That's why you will never catch me in the streets protesting anything. If I see a protest, I'm going the other way because y'all have selective protesting. It's something wrong with that.
An illegal migrant who did horrific things to her daughter. Or was it because she wasn't a lesbian? Like, I don't understand. You tell me. What happened to Renee Nicole Goode with the federal ICE agent was horrible. She had no business doing what she did, and she's been doing it for a long time, and it caught up with her. FAFO. And so for all of you people, all you woke people who want to cry and make videos, including Jasmine Crockett in the hall, talking, you guys were like so upset when what happened to Charlie Kirk, and then starts crying about what happened to Renee Nicole Goode. Crying. First of all, you're a congresswoman. Where is your professional decorum? Why are you crying? Like, you can't hold yourself together. You can't control and compose your emotions to the point that you are crying. Or are the tears of manipulation? Because that's typically how y'all roll. Doesn't matter. We don't care. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And for all of you people who don't want to wrap your brain around the fact that the illegal migrants are going to be escorted out of the country. And I don't want any of my money going to fund fake daycare centers. You might want to. You in Minnesota might be cool with the fact that February schools might be closed down because your government in the state of Minnesota is saying that it's not safe for kids to go to school. But there's clips of the same kids protesting against ICE. So they're going to close the schools in February because the kids are not safe, but they're going to have them in the street in environments that's for sure not for children. And I just have a question. If that actually happens, if they close the schools in February in Minnesota because for safety reasons, you sending them to your Somali daycare? Just asking, considering like your taxpayers are paying for it. Let me know in comments.
What y'all are not doing is holding the right people accountable. Y'all have selective politics when it comes to holding the right people accountable. Now, these people were in the streets, all right? They keep losing their life. You know why they keep losing their life? Because they are in something that does not pertain to them. I don't care where you go, whether it's in the streets, whether it's in prison, whether it's anywhere. If you are dealing in business that is not your business, you can FAFO when you run up to the wrong people or person. All right. Now, all of this stuff that's going on in Minnesota, all right, Tim Walz, okay? So y'all want to be selective and blame Donald Trump for what 74 million people voted for. Just about 74, right at 74 million people voted for. Overwhelming victory over Harris and the now, whatever you want to call him, Tim Walz, the one that is not running for governor in re-election because he allegedly have something to do with whatever's going on. So guess what he do? He tell you crash dummies to go out there and wreak havoc. That's who you should be blaming for the people that continuously getting shot. So I saw a video. So I had to, do some research. Let's see what Google has to say about whether or not Tim Walz told these people to get in the streets and do what they are doing today. Any time now. Let's go.
Yes, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has explicitly used the word resist in reference to ICE operations, most notably during recent events in January 2026, amidst an escalation of federal immigration enforcement in Minnesota. Here is the breakdown of his statements and the context in which they were made. 1. The resist statement, January 2026. In mid-January 2026, during a period of heightened conflict between state officials and federal agents in Minnesota, Governor Walz delivered remarks criticizing federal operations. The quote, in a speech addressing the presence of federal agents, Walz stated, all across Minnesota, people are learning about opportunities not just to resist, but to help people who are in danger. Call to action. In the same address, he encouraged citizens to document federal agents' actions, saying, and if you see ICE in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record. Help us create a database to bank evidence for future prosecution. Context. These comments were made after reports of aggressive federal tactics in Minnesota, which Walz described as a campaign of organized brutality and a direct threat against the people of this state. 2. The latter comment, August 2024. There is a separate, frequently cited instance, often interpreted by his political opponents as resistance or aiding illegal entry, though Walz stated it was a metaphor for the ineffectiveness of border walls. The quote. In an interview on CNN, Walz said, I always say, let me know how high it is. If it's 25 feet, then I'll invest in the 30-foot ladder factory. That's not how you stop this. Clarification. Walz later clarified that this was a rhetorical point about the need for better technology and legal systems rather than physical barriers, not a literal plan to supply ladders. 3. Sanctuary and non-cooperation stance. Walz has consistently maintained that local law enforcement should not act as an arm of federal immigration control. Separation of powers. He has stated, the role of law enforcement is to enforce state and local laws, not federal immigration laws, and has supported policies that prevent state resources from being used for federal deportation efforts. Current conflict. As of January 2026, this stance has led to a direct standoff with the federal administration, with the White House characterizing his refusal to cooperate with ICE detainers as sanctuary defiance.
All right. Tim Walz is the reason why people keep dying up there. He should be telling people to go home. That's the bottom line. The state will never supersede federal authority. Understand that, okay? Now, all these states done had all this time to get these people out of the country. Yet they've been harboring these folks, giving them what they want. Black people can't get money, can't get help to get businesses off the ground. We have been here longer than anybody, yet we cannot get the money that they have been getting, and we the ones who was taken from our original country. They coming over here willfully. We was taken away. So we should not be always getting the denial. As a business owner, I got tons and tons of denials for starting businesses up. Left, and then I go to the corner store and see somebody that probably just got here 1 or 2 years ago, and they own the whole operation. Okay, the American people voted for this. All right, these last 4, 5 years, 20, 30 million people that came across that border, and it is doing nothing but taking away from the people that been here all their life, and this is wrong. And this is what the almost 74 million people voted for. And the governor of Minnesota and other Democratic states like Illinois and, maybe Colorado, Maryland, or whoever else is fighting against the Trump administration instead of going with them. Okay. All the time I say, survive the interaction with police. Get out of police way. Okay. You see that the people got tasers, they got nightsticks, they got guns, they got bulletproof vests, they got shields, they got helmets, they got pepper spray, they got tasers. And you're walking up to them and engaging with them, and you may be right. Hey, guess what? It is your right to hold a peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Now, you have to, it's a lot of things that you can do, okay? You can do a lot of things. You can go get in a pool of water and breathe if you want to. You shouldn't do it, because 9 times out of 10, you are not going to survive trying to breathe underwater. You probably will not survive that interaction, but you can do it. And I said that to say, just because you can do something does not always mean that you should do it. Okay? These folks got a job. Most of the country, I don't care, because you look at the TV and all of the fake news and you see, oh, there's 20 or 30,000 people out in the streets protesting. Guess what? Minneapolis, I believe, that city has 500,000 people. Okay. Everything is always about the numbers. All right. They have 500,000 people in Minnesota. If you see 20,000 or even 100,000 people out there in the streets of Minnesota protesting, right? Where are the other 400,000 people? They at their house? Because this is what they voted for. They want the people out the country. All right. Everything is always about the numbers. Survive the interaction. That's what you people don't understand. You're dealing with these police. You're going out here looking for these problems. You see what type of mission they on. You still going out there. Renee Goode dropped her kids off at school, and she went out there to create havoc. And whether she intentionally, she hit the officer with that car. We all seen it. Just about everybody in this world, if you got hit with a car, whether it was intentional or not, you will be trying to take the life of the driver. That's why I say you people got selective. It's selective. It's just everything that Donald Trump does or says is always wrong to you people. Leave these police alone. See, what you're not going to do is go down there to Florida, because Florida then told you people left and right. They done told you, you come down to Florida with that, we going to deal with you swiftly. We're not wasting no time dealing with you. You're not, see, you get away with certain stuff in certain states, but in certain states, like in the South, they not playing with you. Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, Tennessee, Texas, South Carolina. Them states ain't playing with your. That's why they in the Midwest and they up north and they all out west and stuff like that, because they know you can't come down here with that, man. These folks ain't playing that down here, man. All right. Blame yourself when you going out here, going against these police, and they got all of this police stuff on. You can be 100% right in what you fighting for, but you'll be willing to die for somebody that's not even a part of this country, somebody that was stealing from you, somebody that is taking taxpayer money, taking your opportunities away because they're getting the opportunities. Now you can't get your opportunity. You out here protesting and fighting these people tooth and nail, but you don't even care enough about your own child to say, you know what? I'm going home. I'm not going to get in this mess, because there's a possibility that you better wake up fast, man, because one thing about it, we're seeing Donald Trump lose in the 2020 election. Everybody saw what was going on. Everybody put him back in the White House. And that is the bottom line. Whether you like it or not, he is back in the White House. We all knew what he was going to do. And if you people stay out of his administration's way, then maybe people won't die. You better love your kids and your family and your life and your freedom more than you want to love to go protect something that ain't got nothing to do with you. Selective. That's just like Renee Goode and the guy that just lost his life a couple days ago. If they were black, you people would be burning stuff down. But since they was white, you gonna kick and scream a little bit. You gonna shove and push and stuff like that. But you ain't really making no noise. Y'all burned down so much stuff when it came to George Floyd, man. Listen, man, y'all better get out them folks' way, man. And that's the fastest way to save lives is you could be 100% right and still lose your life.
Thank you for tuning into XCon Media. Go right ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hurry up!